atmosphere, there is nothing to beat Day 6 of the FIM International 6 Days of Enduro. All the fans that have been scattered across the island the last week have gathered here for the final showdown, the motocross races.
And with over 400 club riders already racing on the track in 10 heats and rain falling overnight beforehand, conditions were pretty much prime for the women as they rolled up. The track had rutted up really nicely and it was all ready to go. A little bit boggy by the start gates, but that didn't stop the two Australian fastest girls. Taylor Jones just slotting into second place behind Jessica Gardner there as they shot down into the whole shot position at the start of their first race. So it was the two Australians out front, the third Australian, Gemma Wilson, just a little bit further back, slotting into third position. It was one of the USA riders. It was Brooke Hodges who was initially in third position. She'd come under a little bit of pressure from the Canadian Shelby Turner, but it was the two Australian girls that were the class of the field early on. There is our American girl in third position. She had a much better ride and really just dug into the motocross track. Got enough traction to stay into third place ahead of the Canadians and the French. The French not sewing so well, but just hoping to get round and consolidate their third place and bottom step on the podium. But it was the Australians in the shape of Taylor Jones first, ahead of Jessica Gardner, that took the first two places and cemented their position as the overall winners of the women's trophy in the International 6 Days of Enduro. So there we go. Australia, Sweden 14 minutes back ahead of France, Canada up to 4th and Italy in 5th.
On behalf of Team Australia and all the girls, it's an amazing feeling to be on the top step of the podium. We've had 3 attempts at the 6 days now, Finland, Germany and now here in Italy, and it's great to take home a win, and all our team was really strong all week, and I'm very happy also to win the individual trophy. It's an honour and I'm very proud to be Australian.
So the Australian girls taking it at the third attempt. A brilliant result for them and really appreciated by the crowd that had packed in from all around the countryside. They've been out on the trails all during the week and packed in to the motocross event to support all of the riders. Great result for Australia, Sweden in second and France just coming home in third after winning last year. So let's move on to the big boys, and it was the Enduro 1 test first, and this was between a fight of Cristobal Guerrero and Jeremy Jolly. Those two guys were the ones that were going for the overall in Enduro 1, but it wasn't. Look to the outside, and there's a number 44 of Zach Osborne just slicing across the front of everybody. We had a great run from an Austrian in second place, Michael Stauffer. And there was a Spaniard in there just bumping and boring his way through. That was Thomas Oldrati just pushing his way through into second position. And it was all kicking off. There is Lorenzo Santolino and Cristobal Guerrero having a good fight. But actually, Jeremy Jolly was not putting up the biggest fight. He did something to his left foot, and he was in quite a lot of pain before the event. And after the event, considerably more. Riding well, but a motocross track with a naffed foot is not exactly what you want. Great ride from Thomas Oldrati in second, and there goes Lorenzo Santolino getting ahead just of Thad Duval, who said that he really wanted to beat Osborne in this race to finish ahead of him in E1, but it wasn't going to happen. This would help the Americans. They're in second position at the moment on the podium, but great shout out to the Austrian rider, Michael Stauffer. He got the start and he held on to it. He wasn't caught by the faster guys behind. Zach Osborne, everybody was kind of expecting him to win this, but with a very, very slick track and quite a lot of big rocks that the guys had tried to kick off as they did their track walk earlier, but it was still not exactly the most beautiful motocross track we've ever seen, but good for these guys and already standing up well to over 400 people going round and round it. A fist pump, and watch this for Zach Osborne as he takes the E1 victory. Beautiful heel clicker there over the line. Really, really good to see. He probably thought about that for 3 laps in a row, but great win for the USA. Osborne taking his first win of the week. On to the Enduro 2 class. And this was the stacked field. The fastest riders that we've seen all weekend. Daniel Milner, he was lining up for that. He's won days. Other days have been won by this man, Alex Salvini. He was looking to regain some pride. Great start there from Josh Strang in the middle on the Suzuki, but watch to the outside, and just next to him, there goes Charlie Mullins, sliding up the inside, getting the whole shot. And then in 3rd place at the moment, Alex Salvini, but he's going to go round the outside of Strang into turn 2. Who gets a little bit bumped on board and pushed back a bit more. Loic Larieux up into 3rd place as well, the young Frenchman having a good ride. And there goes Daniel Milner, straight down. He just digs the front end into a heavily watered part of the track, gets it stuck in there, and he dropped down to pretty much last place after that. It was Alex Salvini leading ahead of Charlie Mullins and then Loic Larieux. But watch out for Ivan Cervantes at the back. He was gaining on all of these riders, just pulling out. You just saw in the back of the shot there, trying to gain a bit more time. Alex Salvini, a great ride from him. Really wanted to dominate this race, and he was doing so at this point. Loic Larieux in 2nd now, ahead of Charlie Mullins. The KTM USA rider was not about to give up there. The bike getting all squirrely on the exit of the corners. This track's so slick for everybody. Everybody's starting to overjump some of the singles. No big doubles for these guys here, and just landing hard on the flat. And that's going to be tough on worn out body parts, especially the wrists for these guys. There is Cervantes. He was putting in a late charge and moving up through the field. The Spanish rider determined to put on a good show, but nobody could really touch this man. Alex Salvini, what a great ride from him. Fastest race out of anybody for the day. And he took a deserved win and cemented that 3rd position on the podium for the Italians, regardless of any other results. The French still holding fairly strong, despite a small crash potentially for one of their riders, but Pellerine and Johnny Aubert coming home well in Enduro 2. Alex Salvini, yeah, he knows he's number 1. He's had a very good week. A few ups and downs, but otherwise some solid wins. And let's move on to the biggest class, the Enduro 3 riders. Kurt Caselli just giving Mike Brown a few tips and pointers there, and then some for the Italians as well, coming from Alex Salvini. Manuel Moni lining up there on his 300cc 2-stroke. Next to Denny Philippart, an ex-motocross rider, and there's a few ex-motocross riders in this as well. Watch out for Igor Leok, who's finally getting into his zone, as one rider doesn't make it away at all. Watch to the whole shot now, and it is Mike Brown who gets it, and Antoine Mio said that if Mike Brown gets the whole shot, nobody's going to catch him, and it certainly looks like that from this position. One of the Australians in 3rd place, but everybody's just pushing and bumping and boring. And there we get a little touch between Matheus Bellino and Antoine Mio. They're both stuck behind Denny Philippart at the moment in 2nd position. Mio in 4th, Bellino in 3rd, and this is going to be the fight of the race. And here we go. Bellino is really all over the back of Philippart's. The Italian doing his bit for their cause, but the 2 Frenchmen are just looking that little bit faster. Some braking bumps starting to come in there, but it's not going to stop Bellino. He just scrubs it through, gets the drive, scrubs it over the 2nd single, and is away. And a slow move out of the corner there for Philippart, and that lets Mio through as well. But nobody can touch Mike Brown. He is away with this. The 500cc KTM just giving him the whole shot. He rips it and moves away to win the E3 final race. Great ride for the American. They make it 2 out of 3, with 1 going to the Italians. For the French, Mio not happy about something, and he may not be happy with Bellino either. A bit of a touch on the start for them, but it doesn't change the overall standings. France, Italy, and Great Britain in the Junior World Trophy. USA behind them.
Yeah, it was complete crazy because I come from motocross in my first 6 days, and I have pushed hard all the days, and that is the final, is cross test. I have tried to push really hard, but after 2 laps, arm pump and it's difficult. I have make a funny race maybe, and all the French team was really strong on the 6 days. I'm really happy to win with us, and that's perfect.
It has been a perfect week, at least for those two Frenchmen. They were joined by their teammates Swan Servajean and Kevin Romer on the podium to accept their medals from the FIM president Vito Ippolito. And finally, also the trophy once more going to the French team to be lifted high above their heads in celebration once again. In the World Trophy standings, it was France 2 ahead of the USA and Italy. Australia disappointed with 4th ahead of Spain.
Yeah, for sure. Our goal was to be on the podium, and we kept this goal, and we are so happy because the France was another level. But anyway, we did our best, and the podium is the best thing that we can have these 6 days.
It was a great result for Italy. Just to get on the podium at all was a massive achievement and a real reward for those riders in the home event. The French, once more dominant, despite the loss of Christophe Nambertin. They were still the team to beat and will remain so for a few more years, with the strength in depth of the junior team showing through as well. Once more, the trophy goes to France.
The races may have finished way outside of town, but it's not over yet for the teams and competitors. They still have to bring everything back and get it packed up into containers ready for the journey home. Once again, congratulations to the French trophy and junior riders, and of course the Australian girls for their dominant performance. They'll all be getting more applause tonight at the awards ceremony and be looking to defend their titles in 13 months' time when the FIM International 6 Days of Enduro returns for the 2014 edition in Argentina.